Well, welcome to another kind of wild edition of the Nightly Nuge. Ted, happy 9/11 week. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm celebrating the lessons learned from that horrific, tragic, demonic terrorist attack on America that unfortunately here we are 21 years later. And Keith, it breaks my heart even worse than on that horrible morning. It breaks my heart even worse that apparently we have not learned our lessons. I would rather America was September 12th, 2001 forever, but heartbreakingly, it is not.
I really wanted to find out from you, where were you on the original 9/11? And what was going through your mind when you saw those towers come under attack in New York and then the Pentagon?
Well, again, it was the most beautiful morning in America. I was on the sacred swamps of Michigan with my beautiful wife, Shemaine, my son, Rocco, and our dogs. And we were looking out over that beautiful lake, literally the happy hunting grounds for the old guitar player in between touring breaks. And it couldn't have been a more beautiful blue sky morning. And I was in my office where we have a panoramic view facing south onto the lake and the marshlands. And I get a call from my brother, John, in Chicago. And he goes, "Turn on the TV." And I go, "What channel?" He goes, "It doesn't matter, turn on the TV." And there I was, shattered, fearful, heartbroken, scared, angry, yet determined. And then I get a call from my son, Toby, who was in Manhattan as the plane struck. So that is burned on my psyche.
Ted, you talk to a lot of warriors and, vets, and our country was so united immediately after 9/11. I mean, resolved in purpose, defend freedom, defend America. America was under attack. And it seems like, as you said earlier, everyone's forgotten that. And we're more divided now than I've ever seen our country.
I spent the weekend, too, celebrating the strength and the spirit and we the people demand to experiment in self-government with the heroes of the U.S. military, the U.S. Army, the U.S. Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the Space Force. I literally was doing a military fundraising charity event with my friends Calvin Ross from Lone Star Music and the great Jason Hartless on drums and Johnny Shane on bass guitar, with great American families who dig deep and give for those heroes that continue to sacrifice and make risks, fighting for that United States constitutional pledge that they make, the oath to the U.S. Constitution. So, yes, the real heartbreak can be categorized that here we are in 2022, and the unification, the spiritual, patriotic unity of September 12th, 2001, has literally been intentionally destroyed by this guy who thinks he's the commander-in-chief. And let me just put it in the words of the warriors. Let's pretend the guitar player doesn't matter. I'll just repeat the belief system of the genuine warriors of the U.S. military and their families. Are they shattered that there's such a thing as the Taliban? Yes, but they're even more shattered that the United States government would arm the Taliban with our state-of-art military gear, thanks to Joe Biden, and that Joe Biden, this evil, rotten, treasonous, criminal gangster family of the Joe Biden regime, that he's the commander-in-chief, hurts the warriors and their families to the core, because now it is more than apparent, the evidence is inescapable. The commander-in-chief of the United States of America is now the enemy of the military heroes and the enemy of America. And if that sounds like rhetoric, somebody prove me wrong. This man in the White House is intentionally dismantling this experiment in self-government. Shame on us for allowing this treasonous criminal punk to infest our White House and the entire structure of the United States government. Those are the words of the heroes that sacrificed and dragged their friends off their blood brothers off the battlefield in body bags. And what this government under Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and the CIA and the NSA and the U.S. military, what they did to our Americans in Benghazi is unforgivable.
And, Ted, quite accurate, and I just want to give a special shout out to our good friend Mark Geis and all the work that he's doing with Shadow Warriors Project. And for those of you out there that have not seen the movie 13 Hours, I highly recommend it. Ted, I'll be back in the studio tomorrow, and we'll be right back here for some more of the nightly news where there's no fake news.
Keep the spirit, America. The Constitution is the guideline for the greatest quality of life in the United States in the history of mankind, and we need to fight for it. Please join us at hunternation.org. Hunternation.org, and let's get conservative values back into policymaking in this great nation of ours.